Damn, I really did not want to make this video. As we all know, Jimmy Butler suffered a season-ending torn ACL right as the Warriors started their first 4-game winning streak. But there was still a game to win, and I'm still going to keep making these breakdowns. That's part of the journey. A confident Brandin Podziemski continues scorching play off the bench with his best game of the season. So I want to break down his 3-level scoring while talking mad crazy to the Heat bench, so let's get to it. Brandin Podziemski seems to have found a relishing role coming off the bench as a secondary ball handler, but last night with D'Anthony Melton sitting out the front end of a back-to-back, Pods was essentially the primary 6-man ball handler. Pods has been scoring over 15 points for 4 or 5 games or so. We'll start out with a simple pick and pop with Al Horford. As Horford sets the screen for Pods to drive with a strong left hand, the Heat have their rookie fight over the screen and Kel'el Ware in the show coverage. Extremely simple basketball play here with the screener popping out to the 3-point line, and this was the main reason why they even got the veteran center in the first place. Pods kicks it back out, giving Ware a much longer closeout. Al steps into an open triple. Miami and Spoelstra is known for switching up their defenses occasionally to zone coverages to try and throw the opposing team's rhythm off. With the Heat in the 2-3 zone, you can see GP2 trying to get the ball here in the middle, but then comes back to set a pick. The way to beat the zone is to shoot open threes or get the ball in the middle of the paint, and one way to do that is to set screens for the ball handler, since in a zone coverage, more often than not, there will be no one sticking to the level of the screener. As Payton sets the pick, Hawkins Jr. has to come up higher and is not yet at the level of the screen, giving Pods the opportunity to split the two defenders and get right into the middle of the court. Because Ware was the bottom zone man, Pods takes the first open look and gets into a floater bag for an 8-foot shot, way to get into the teeth of the defense and counter against the rim protector. Let's turn defense to offense. As Powell and Ware run a pick and roll, observe Podziemski coming as the weak side low man very early in the shot clock to overload onto the strong side. Modern NBA defenses do this to have help defenders ready early, and intentionally giving up the open corner 3-pointer to a non-shooter. Spencer then helps the helper by dropping lower to potentially X out. As Powell tries to foul bait and ends up jump passing instead, by the time Ware receives the ball, Pods comes to help early and pressures the center into traffic. With the swarming double team and Ware bringing the ball down low, the Warriors collectively strip the rock and get into a fast break. Spencer always keeps his head up when running the point and sees a 3-on-2 advantage on the weak side. Passes to Podziemski early so he can attack this, and Pods uses his strength for a body bump to create space, then Euro steps into an uncontested floater. Great team effort here. As Steph was struggling, Podziemski realized that he's got the entire green light here and has been beaming with confidence the last several weeks, leading the team in 3-point percentage actually on the season. Post comes to set a ball screen, and notice Pods is already right at the 3-point line. With Miami fully miscommunicating here, as Larson looks like he's trying to go under the pick or switch, but Wiggins does not get out in time. Pods realizes he's wide open right at the line and simply dribbles into rhythm and pulls up a 3-pointer. His shot is looking silky smooth, and he's starting to talk smack to someone on the Miami bench. Options like Al Horford and Quen Post as stretch bigs in the modern NBA can give offenses a completely different look. If the defense has a rim protecting big, Steve Kerr loves to counter this way. Post and Pods run a simple empty side pick and roll. With Fontecchio fighting over the pick and Kel'el Ware in the drop coverage, Quen Post keeps the game simple by popping out to the left wing. Honestly, most of Post's shots comes from these, and I'd like him to knock down just a few more open looks to keep the defense honest and capitalize on these opportunities more. This time, Ware tries to communicate a switch, but this is still too late of a closeout for the 7-foot stretch big. Let's break down another defense to offense, and shout out Buddy Hield for having a huge last couple games. The Heat set 2 stagger screens for the Miami rookie, who rejects the pick at the last second. However, they also miscommunicate on offense here because Norman Powell is clearly trying to ghost the second screen, but instead runs into the ball handler and brings his man into the play. Buddy Hield recognizes immediately and switches with Pods, surprising the rookie and stripping the ball from him and into a fast break. Pods runs the lane well, and look at him countering the potential shot block by decelerating, then bumping Ware off of his timing before getting a right-handed layup high up the glass over the contest. Fantastic footwork and finish here. After the Jimmy injury, Buddy Hield, remember, he used to be a 20-point per game scorer in the NBA and turn on a few heat checks. We have another Pods and Horford pick and roll at the top of the key. Al rolls a bit early so the Warriors don't really get an advantage here. Pods crosses back over and Horford sets a rescreen as Larson goes under the pick and Bam is in a drop coverage, encouraging the mid-range pull-up. One pass away, Mitchell is sitting in the driving lane a little too comfortably far off a shooter. Normally, defenses are fine with this distance, but because Buddy Hield has been firing shots after getting sunburned the last couple games, he had just blown past Wiggins for a layup the possession before. Pods kicks it out and Buddy steps into it like prime Klay Thompson, and he checks a 3 to build the lead. Big bucket here. With Butler out and Steph in foul trouble, the Warriors close the game out with first option Brandin Podziemski hoops. The guy was getting screens at the logo, and Miami was switching every on-ball guard screen, giving Pods the mismatch hunting he wanted. I never thought I'd say that sentence ever. Pods goes into isolation James Harden mode on Larson, hits him with a tween, then jabs step back to his right, looking like 2018 Harden with that lefty stroke. Shot clock wind down and it's a bucket by the white Shohei Ohtani. I mean, look at these last two plays. Mismatch hunting again like he's prime James Harden. First screen by Moody and the Heat switch. Since both Mitchell and Wiggins are great defenders, Buddy decides to bring his man in Larson again into the action, and Miami switches. With the entire left side of the floor to work with, Pods goes into isolation mode once more with a hezzy snatchback to create space, then another left-right step back for a 26-footer. He was talking mad crazy to the bench again after Spo called his final timeout. There you guys have it. Brandin Podziemski got real freedom and confidence by controlling the game, hunting mismatches, reading coverages, all while talking crazy while doing it. With Jimmy out and Steph struggling, Pods did not shy away from the moment and expertly read pick and rolls, attacked the zone, and pulled up from deep like James Harden. He momentarily became the second option and showed all three levels of scoring the way he was isolating, decelerating, and creating space late in the game. Add in the defense to offense plays, and the Warriors continue to make their threes in this homestand. This was easily the best game of the season for him. This version of Podziemski is going to have to stick if the Warriors want to continue to compete with this franchise-altering event. Now on to a back-to-back against the Raptors, so if you guys like this breakdown, like and subscribe to see more.